Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Alex, and it is Monday. So I have back-to-back YouTube videos for you guys. I'm going to upload these two back-to-back YouTube videos on to two of my YouTube channels, but I'm going to make them 3 to maybe 6.5, maybe 7 hours apart from each other, so that way both videos get a chance to get a certain number of views, and you get a chance to see the video. I don't expect everybody to watch the video in the first 25 to 30 minutes, and I don't want to take up all your time because you got far more important things to do than to just watch my YouTube videos. Some people got clothes they got to wash, bills they have to pay. Sometimes you might want to get lunch or dinner. Sometimes you just want to read a book or relax, and there's no basketball games today. There is a football game today, but that's like towards the end of the day. And I'm going to move these videos far apart from each other. So the title of this YouTube video is going to be called Sex Game, Hot Sexy Women in Marvel for Women and Men. So this video is for both. Men and women can watch this video. And I did say I was going to make a series of videos, a new series, where I'm going to be talking about comic books, video games, and anime with different characters. Some are going to consist of female characters, and if the videos are well received, we'll move on to the male characters, which they're always easy. The females are the ones that are usually, you got to put a lot of work and research. These are just fun, enjoyable entertainment videos, not meant to be taken serious. So if your favorite character gets mentioned in here, great, fantastic. If not, then maybe in part 2 or in part 3 or even in part 4, your characters might be mentioned. So this one's going to be Marvel, and then I'm going to make a completely different video that's just going to be about African American male and female superheroes, because a lot of people watch my channel, and I noticed that sometimes I get comments or people see me in person, they'd be like, you don't make enough videos about our African American heritage in television and film or in comics, so, sometimes I make videos for that audience. You're welcome to watch those videos as well. Alright, coming in at number 10 is Pryde. Now, Pryde is a very strong and powerful woman. She is a part of the X-Men, and she was very big and very central to the story plots in the 1980s and 1990s of the comic books. Now, contrary to belief, when they did X-Men Future Days Past the movie, she was essential to that part. But a lot of people don't realize that if you ever read the comic books, the graphic novels, and the 1990s X-Men cartoon, it actually was not Wolverine or Charles Xavier that actually went into the past to warn the X-Men of the future threat. The Sentinel robot, Apocalypse, the nanovirus that attacks human beings and mutants. It was actually Pryde that was the main character. Yes, she's the girl that has the ability to go through walls, and she's able to use telepathy and telekinesis. Those are her other powers, but her main power is to go through walls. Now, she was actually the main character of that story, because there was X-Men Future Days Past Part 1, and then there's Future Days Past Part 2, the comic book storyline. And Part 1 was Pryde, and Part 2, of course, we know was Wolverine. And I do feel like that the next time they reboot the X-Men movie franchise, they had to go with the correct interpretation, because it was her character that was able to save the future by going back into the past and have the X-Men in the past be aware of future events. Where in the future timeline, there's no X-Men, no Fantastic Four, no Avengers, because somebody named Apocalypse got all of them, and Sinister made clones of all of the mutants, and somewhere in that story, Sinister is the one who kind of, engineers that whole plot where Pryde becomes the hero, where in the main timeline, she doesn't even know that she's going to be the hero in the future timeline where she becomes the sole survivor. Now, in the cartoon, they wanted to make it where the X-Men die and Wolverine's still around, because Wolverine was such a badass character, but don't forget, Pryde was actually the one who became the hero of the X-Men future timeline. So that's why she's on this list. Coming in at number 9 is Jessica Drew, aka Spider-Woman. Now, you heard of Spider-Man, but Spider-Woman. Now, what if I told you, if you ever read any of the comic books and graphic novels, that Jessica Drew actually came 5 or 10 years before Peter Parker got bit as Spider-Man? They don't talk about it in the movies nowadays, but she actually came 5 or 10 years before Peter Parker. He got bit by a radioactive spider, and so did Jessica Drew. The difference is she got bit by a radioactive super spider that had the DNA of all 7 spiders. And she has superhuman strength, superhuman speed, stamina, durability, a healing factor, shape-shifting abilities, and her spider sense is more stronger than Spider-Man's. And if you want to talk about superhuman strength, her level of superhuman strength surpasses Spider-Man. Now, she is a big Marvel character that has never appeared in the movies, the television shows, but it's been confirmed that she's going to get her own live-action film called Spider-Woman that's going to be set in the Spider-Man verse and in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So she's going to get her own live-action film. Now, in the 1990s, she was recruited with Tony Stark Iron Man and was a part of his group. So if you remember that cartoon, she was a love interest to Tony Stark Iron Man, and some people felt her character should have already showed up in Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3. Instead, they went with Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow. Some people felt that her character should have showed up in the X-Men because her character does have a lot of history with the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and the Avengers. And this movie that they're making, which it'll be in the next 2 to 3 years or 4 years, it's going to reveal that she's just as strong and powerful as Spider-Man, and that she's been around for 5 to 10 years. So she got bit by a radioactive spider. Anything Spider-Man can do, she can do. And what makes her very physically, sexually attractive is that she was able to create web shooters and create her own uniform before Peter Parker's Spider-Man did. And when these two run into each other, that's when she reveals to Spider-Man that she has enhanced abilities. So it's like what if Captain America Steve Rogers was a woman and a cross between Captain America and Spider-Man. So it's going to be nice to finally see her character finally show up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, you had to wait at least 11 or 12 years for it, but it's finally happening. So if we can get Venom, and we can get Morbius, and we can get the Spider-Verse, why not bring out Spider-Woman? Coming in at number 8 is Rogue. Now, Rogue is someone who is a very interesting character because if you know the cartoon and the comic books, her mother's Mystique, and Nightcrawler's her brother. Now, the movies actually ignore that. They actually ignore the fact that Mystique is her biological mother, Nightcrawler's her brother, and that Rogue's powers is that she can absorb different energy. When she absorbed Miss Marvel, Carol Danvers, her powers became permanent, and that's how Rogue has access to flying, limitations. She can breathe underwater, outer space, and Rogue's able to absorb other mutants' powers. So Rogue herself has a degree of superhuman strength, speed, stamina, durability, energy projection blast, and she put Miss Marvel in a coma. When they did the X-Men versus the Avengers storyline, part 1 and part 2 from the 80s and the 90s. And to me, the X-Men movies also ignore how she actually got her mutant powers. Yeah, she did kiss a boy and he went into a coma, so they told some part of the story. And I'm pretty sure if they do X-Men versus the Avengers, or they make the X-Men exist in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, fans are going to want to see Rogue versus Miss Marvel because it's in the cartoon, it's in the comic books, and how do you explain how some of these mutants get their powers? So, and of course, everybody likes Rogue because she has that country accent, she's curvy, she got them nice round breasts, and men find the character Rogue very physically, sexually attractive. And there have been plenty of women who have dressed up as Rogue for Comic-Con, the anime convention, and the actress who played Rogue in the cartoon is credited with bringing that character to life. Of course, there's the actress who played Rogue in 3 X-Men films before she played True Blood. And it would be nice if they do an accurate interpretation of the character of Rogue this time around. Coming in at number 7 is Gamora. Now, this is my personal favorite. Ever since watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, 2, and Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, Lordy and Zendana's played this character in 4 live-action films. The one thing that I expect Marvel to do next is that if you can make Black Widow the movie, why not give Gamora her own story? I mean, there's still stuff from those movies that's not explained. Like, yeah, she does have enhanced abilities. She does have other cosmic powers that happened during the time of Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, she was on other missions prior to the first film. And I believe if they ever make a Guardians 4, which they probably will, of other characters, I do believe either you make a Disney Plus television show or a movie of Gamora. She's got huge critical fan reaction from men and women. Men find her very physically, sexually attractive and want their girlfriends and wives to be like Gamora. And Gamora is like a badass female assassin that kicks ass, take names. And she was very central to the story plot of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, as well as the Avengers Infinity War storyline. She was a part of that plot. Like, she was very central to the plot. In order for Thanos to actually, do what it is that he does, if it weren't for Gamora, he would have never been able to get all the Infinity Stones and be able to do what he did in the film. Which is, when we see the second movie, we see the Gamora from the very first film, which means you could make a Guardians spinoff called The Rise of Gamora and showed her training montages and show some more of the storyline and the dynamics between Gamora and Nebula, the sister. She's the favorite child. Nebula got abused, and Gamora seen a lot of that abuse. Now, they did show in the movie that her home world was destroyed by Thanos, but there are other fights, there are other missions that she did for like at least 10 years before Guardians Galaxy Part 1 and Part 2. So that I would love to see that be made into a movie or a television show. So if you can do Black Widow and you can do Scarlet Witch, why not do Gamora? It would be a big missed opportunity. Coming in at number 6 is Black Widow tied with Sif. Now, everybody loves Natasha Romanoff, a.k.a. the Black Widow, because she's like a genetic enhanced female super soldier. She's like Captain America and Winter Soldier's equal in combat. Anything they can do, she can do. She's strong, she's powerful, she's compassionate, and she's understanding. And that's what a lot of people love about the humanity of the character of the Black Widow. On the other hand, we've got Sif. Sif is like an equal to Thor. So if Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow, is an equal to Captain America, Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, Iron Man, and War Machine, then Sif is an equal to the mighty Thor. Everything Thor can do, Sif can do. Like, it was nice to see Jamie Alexander play this character in 2 live-action films. It's just a disappointment that she never got to appear in the Avengers Infinity War or Endgame, because if you had all the other characters from Asgard in the movie, her character should have been in the movie. And if her character is still alive when you do Thor Love and Thunder, that would be the time to write in her character and explain why her character went missing in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Yes, there's the television special that was done 5 years ago on season 2 or season 3 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but you do already know that the continuity between the television show doesn't connect to none of the Marvel films. So, yes, Sif exists in that world, but we already had a Sif, and she was very strong, very powerful. Anything Thor can do, she can do. Like, she has other powers that Thor doesn't have. Like, she can time travel, she can teleport, she has superhuman strength, speed, stamina. She's a swordsman. She's good with math and science. She has magic powers, shape-shifting ability. So she has some of the same powers as Thor, and then she has other abilities that Thor does not possess. So it would be nice that these two were tied, because they're both their male counterpart equals. Coming in at number 5 is Psylocke, tied with Sue Storm of the Fantastic Four. Now, Psylocke is one of my favorite X-Men female characters. Very strong, very powerful, genetic enhanced. She's like a cross between Wolverine and Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow, because she has genetic enhanced strength, speed, stamina. She can speak 20 to 30 different languages. She can read other people's powers, and she's like, what if Natasha Romanoff had not psychic power? So she's psychic, she has telekinesis, telepathy, energy projection blast, and she can sense how strong or how weak a mutant person's powers are. And she only appeared in only 2 live X-Men films. Now, she was played by an actress who played her in X-Men Apocalypse, and she did a very good job playing the character Psylocke, because she can sense other people's powers. And to me, it would be a missed opportunity if they did not put her character in the future movies. Now, what makes her character is that she's strong, she's powerful, she's fearless, and she knows what she wants. And most men love women who know what they want. And Psylocke's like an actual interpretation of what women are. Like, it's like, what if you took Wonder Woman from from DC, and you put her in Marvel? It would probably be Psylocke. On the other hand, you have Sue Storm from the Fantastic Four. Now, there have been times in the comic books where Sue Storm's powers as the Invisible Woman can actually stop and control other mutants' powers. Now, she actually has saved the Fantastic Four and the X-Men and the Avengers, and she's the only female character who uses math and logics to reason with people. While other characters is all about strength and power and dominance, Sue Storm's like the voice of reason. She's like, do you understand the consequences of your actions? And usually she has to be the one to tell Reed Richards, the Fantastic Four, and her brother Johnny Storm. And a lot of times she fights a lot of these strong male villains. Like, she can hold her own with characters like Doctor Doom, Mortal. She can handle her own with strong, powerful villains. And basically, she can compete on any level with any character. So she's very strong and very powerful. And there have been times where she's had to save the group, where the other character's powers fail, her power succeeds. So you got to give Sue Storm from the Fantastic Four and Psylocke credit. They're both strong female characters that have had to save some of your big-name superheroes on multiple occasions. Coming in at number 4 is Storm. Now, Storm's a very strong, powerful African-American woman character. She's one of my favorite characters. Now, I'm still waiting for the correct interpretation of Storm. I do believe eventually they will do that in the future X-Men films. She has the power of lightning. She has magic powers. And she herself is a supernatural witch. And basically, it would be a shame for them not to utilize the character of Storm. Like, Storm has like the same magic power as other characters in the universe. And it would be nice to explore some of her magic. So there's more to Storm than just she can control lightning and thunder and cause earthquakes. She has more power and more strength. And the movies have yet to show the true extent of her magic powers and what she can really do. She's a very strong, powerful character. Some of the most dangerous X-Men villains that the X-Men could not beat, Storm actually defeated by herself. So that's the thing with Storm's character. She's a lot more stronger and powerful than you may realize. Coming in at number 3 is Jean Grey. Now, Jean Grey's got telekinesis, telepathy, she's a telepath, she can control other mutants' powers, and then she has the power of the Phoenix. And sometimes she turns evil, and she's like the humanity of mankind. She's like the essence of the universe. Like, when they say Mother Nature, that's basically what the source of the power of Phoenix is. It is Mother Nature, but it's a manifestation. So any woman or any man, for that matter, can wield the power of the Phoenix. It just so happens to be that it made Jean Grey the vessel, and she just happened to be the chosen one, where she can fight cosmic threats. Like, she can fight Silver Surfer, Galactus, Thanos, the Tyrant, the Wanderer, the Watcher. So she's strong enough to fight powerful cosmic beings. And the Phoenix saved the Earth like hundreds of times. And when everyone else fails, the Phoenix succeeds. She saved the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers. Yeah. And plus, Jean Grey's been the leader of the X-Men like on 3 to 4 different occasions with success. She's even defeated Apocalypse not once but 3 times. Coming in at number 2 is Scarlet Witch, Wanda. She's by far the most strongest, most powerful female character in all of Marvel. She has the power to open and close dimensions. She can go through black holes, Milky Way. She can create a pocket dimension and create parallel universes with her telekinesis, telepathy, magic powers, shape-shifting abilities. She can fly and warp realities. When she punched a hole to save Vision, she angered Galactus and Silver Surfer and created a parallel universe of another Earth where all of us have mutant powers, and created a new X-Men, a new Fantastic Four, and a new Avengers. And with her power, she was able to defeat Apocalypse of that future timeline with the help of Doctor Strange. Every now and then she gets out of control, loses control of her powers. Who doesn't? And basically, it's a good sign of shows what happens when someone's at their strongest. Everybody has their demons. And she's getting her own television show called WandaVision, which is going to be based off the comic book storyline. Coming in at number 1 is Shuri. Why is Shuri number 1? Is because she's a badass African-American woman that kicks ass, takes names. You've already seen her in a number of films already. You saw her in Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame. You saw her in Black Panther. So you've already seen her in like 3 live-action films. And if anyone should be the next Black Panther, it should be the baby sister. She made advanced technology. She's got a genius intellect. She has enhanced strength, speed, stamina. And she can do 5 to 10 styles of martial arts, speak 20 to 25 different languages, and she's very resilient with cardio and training. And she's a weapons expert, and she's good at calculating one's strengths and weaknesses. So, to me, when they make Black Panther Part 2 the movie, the story should pick up with Shuri as Black Panther. If you read the comic books or the graphic novels, you will know there have been at least 8 or 9 people who have all been Black Panther. Now, Shuri in the comic books has picked up the mantle of Black Panther on 3 different occasions. She's a strong, powerful female character, and no one's going to have no complaints if they make a Black Panther 2 or 3 that she becomes the new Black Panther. That means she's also going to become one of the co-leaders of the new Avengers when they make Avengers 5. So, to me, this would be the right thing to do. You don't have to cast around. You already have somebody that's trained to be Black Panther. She can enter the trials and make herself worthy, and she has enhanced magic abilities where she can fight strong, powerful characters like Red Skull, the Mandarin, Doctor Doom, any powerful foe like that. So that's pretty much it. And the second one's going to be African American male and female superheroes.